It's so good. Praise the Most High God every day with your whole heart desire. Lift him high, lift him high. Holy, 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 holy. Holy Mount Zion. The Lord's my shepherd, I'll not want. Take me down to lie in pastures green, that leadeth me the quiet waters by. My soul, oh, have restored again, and me to walk out stay within the path of righteousness, even for his name's sake. Yet though I walk in death's dark vale, it will I fear no ill. Thy rod and staff, they are with me, they surely comfort thee. My Savior, Lord, has furnished in the presence of my foes. My head go up and with oil, my cup it overflow. Goodness and mercy all my life shall surely follow me. And in just forevermore, my dwelling place must be. Goodness and mercy all my life shall surely follow me. And in Jehovah's forevermore, my dwelling place shall be. Goodness and mercy all my life shall surely follow me, and in Jehovah's forevermore my dwelling place must be. As long as restore again, and me to walk those days with the path of righteousness, even for his name's sake. Yea, do I walk through the dark way, it will I fear no evil. Thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they surely comfort me. My favor, Lord, has furnished in the presence of my foes. My head on high, anointed with oil, my cup is overflow. Holy, holy, holy. Most High Jah. Here comes the sun.
Beat the heat with world-class Loratec inverter type air conditioners from ESA Trading Limited. State-of-the-art technology, quiet and super efficient. Loratec inverter type air conditioners made by TCL are the most energy efficient air conditioning unit, resulting in great savings on electricity. Loratec DC inverter type air conditioners come with anti-corrosive golden coating for added protection and prevention of bacteria, double galvanized outdoor case against rust, 3-year warranty on complete unit with 5-year warranty on compressor. Available in 9,000, 12,000, 18,000, 24,000, and 36,000 BTU unit. Prices start as low as $1,850. Plus, you get 10% discount on cash purchases. Higher purchase terms are also available. Also, Eaststar Trading Limited offers professional installation and after-sales service. Visit Eaststar Trading Limited today at the corner of Bayfront and Kennedy Avenue, Roseville, or Canefield Industrial Site, or call us on telephone number 440-0205 or 449-3636. Eaststar Trading Limited. We're making a difference for
Here
you.
comes the sun.
The New India Insurance Company has reopened its doors in Portsmouth, offering the same great services you get in Roseau. Motor vehicle insurance, home and business owners, fire and related perils, public liability, and so much more. Come, visit us today for insurance with a personal touch on Bay Street, Portsmouth, or call us at 445-4023. We are ready to serve you.
This is Asa Banton, your Tropical Water Ambassador, with your hurricane tip for today. Insurance checkup. Ensure that your home and car insurance policies are up to date and covers hurricanes, flooding protection, etc. Be prepared and remember to stock up on Tropical Water.
Did you hear that? It's the Summer Arts Program call. Yes, the Summer Arts Program presented by the Cultural Division for children ages 7 to 17, August 6th to the 16th at the Old Mill Cultural Center. Come learn our traditional dances, play steel pen, creative dance, choir, arts and craft, traditional drumming, jewelry making, drama, and more. You can register at the Old Mill Cultural Center or call 266-4527 for more information. Follow the call to the Summer Arts Program 2024.
Boy, naughty boy. Oh, I would drink a cold kubuli.
Yeah, boy. Myself, I would drink a BB Spice. No, boy. Yeah, boy.
Well, guess what? Kubuli and BB Spice presents Kubuli and BB Summer Bar Tours.
Over $20,000 in cash and prizes to be won.
Join us for the exciting promotions at selected bars island-wide. All winners will be entered in a grand draw for a chance to win cash prizes, grocery vouchers, top-up, and lots more. Terms and conditions apply.
Yeah, boy. I ain't that. Yeah, boy. Myself, I want my BB Spice. Where that be?
Please drink responsibly.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. It's 1:12. We're going to join the finance minister in Parliament. He's still presenting the budget. I think we can catch the tail end of it.
Congratulate the many who continue to pay their taxes and licenses on time. As a country, we have made significant progress without imposing additional taxes on our citizens. Thanks to the inflows from the CBI program, which we have used to offset some of the capital costs that otherwise would have had to be borne by residents, and the prudent and responsible management of the country by this Labour Party administration. In further preparation for the transformation of our beautiful country and the tremendous opportunities we anticipate, government will this year increase collaboration with the private sector. We will establish a committee comprising of individuals from the public and private sectors to examine economic and social issues and make policy recommendations, which will create a more conducive environment for further investments. The committee's work will include input to address the issue of labor, including farm labor, as several jobs are available in Dominica, but there is a scarcity of individuals to fill these jobs. Furthermore, the committee will review the wages which are being paid in Dominica and make clear recommendations regarding the minimum wage rate. Mr. Speaker, government will also be undertaking a review of the corporate income tax and will seek feedback from this committee. We are of the view that some amendments can be made, in particularly to attract additional large investments, increase the number of job opportunities, as well as allow businesses to self-insure and protect their investments. Another important issue, which is the Public-Private Sector Committee will look into, is the price of goods in Dominica. Government has removed import duty and in some instances VAT on a number of basic items used extensively by Dominicans. Flour, rice, milk, baby formula, sugar, adult and baby diapers, agricultural and fishing inputs, machinery and equipment, animal feed, among others, enter Dominica free of import duty and VAT. Government is deeply concerned that notwithstanding the reduction in charges, the shelf prices of many of these items remain very high. For example, government removed a 15% VAT on duty on adult and baby disposable diapers. However, citizens have not benefited from government's effort to make these products cheaper. Mr. Speaker, it is now time to have a conversation about this critical matter so that we could devise a plan of action to achieve the desired result, which is a reduction in the price to consumers. We must work to protect our vulnerable and their families and provide the enabling conditions to reduce the cost of living. Mr. Speaker, many of our citizens live as renters or tenants, and it is crucial that we provide more robust protection to safeguard them against exploitation and guarantee access to safe and affordable housing. The government of Dominica is concerned about the exorbitant prices and poor quality of some rental properties available to tenants. At present, the Tenancies and Rent Control Act, Chapter 5472, is in place and establishes a tribunal to address rental disputes. However, to improve rental conditions, protection and rights of both landlords and tenants, the government of Dominica will establish a Tenancy and Rent Commission to address issues such as regulation of rent, protection against unjust eviction, and the enforcement of health and safety standards in rental properties. The Commission's initial action will be to pursue amendments to the Tenancies and Rent Control Act to improve regulations and clearly outline the rights and responsibilities of both landlords and tenants. Additionally, the Commission will provide oversight of rental agreements and conditions, field queries, refer to disputes to the tenancy and rent control tribunal. Mr. Speaker, development is a gradual process that requires certain sacrifices. The Dominican Labour Party government has consistently proven its ability to overcome every adversity it faces. We recognize global uncertainty, but we are undaunted by challenges. We have always punched above our weight and exceeded expectations. And despite the current difficulties in the world economy, this government will continue to make smart, calculated decisions to build the foundation for long-term prosperity. And this is exactly what we are doing in this year's budget. We are making strategic investments to create sustainable jobs, enhance revenue potential, and improve and provide improved services and a high standard of living for our citizens. We are building a Dominica that will prosper due to our unwavering commitment to each other and to our country. Today, as we embark on this bold new path, we have every reason to be optimistic, hopeful, and confident. Let us become a more caring and industrious people, willing to work hard to defend and to promote the best of our country. Mr. Speaker, we can only rely on ourselves to build a Dominica that stands tall, not only in the Caribbean, but on the global stage. This government is playing its part through progressive, people-centered policies and programs to provide the foundation for social and economic growth. But the government cannot do it alone. This is our country to build. To achieve success, we require the collective effort of all Dominicans, working hand in hand with your government to achieve the shared prosperity to which we all aspire. I am confident that with God's continued grace and protection, we can rise above every obstacle and secure a brighter future for succeeding generations. I thank you, and may God bless the Commonwealth.
That was the tail end of the budget presentation in the Parliament of Dominica today by the Finance Minister, Irvin McIntyre. Okay, so that probably was just a little over 2 hours, I think, looks like. All right, I don't know how much of it you heard, but all right. Don't know how much of it you heard, but we can talk.
Same great insurance. Home.
All you, I just meet Goldwyn in Roseau again. Same place outside Flossie's. I tried to dock him, but he had time see me. Where? Story start again. Million, Lottomo Pavel with Gaza. Salcapella. I said the same thing you doing, shopping at Flossie's. And you don't have to tell me the same thing you tell me last time because I busy. Is to hear him way. You reckon? About my pocket, boy. I won't tell you that I save money in food and drinks when I buy quantity. I save more. Oh, shucks, man. Goldwyn, you still telling me. I know already. To pack a moi, but it can him up here for Palais. I will tell all my friends from London, US and Dominica to come to Flossie's, right next to the Rosa Market. Open Sunday to Saturday. Flossie's can't do it toujours.
The Dominica Calypso Association calls on all its members to attend the Calypso Association's annual general meeting on July 27, 2024 at the Calypso House at Bath Estate from 10 a.m. The participation and the punctuality of members are hereby encouraged. A message from the board of the Dominica Calypso Association. The DCA AGM, July 27th. The Calypso House, 10 a.m. See you there.
She's beautiful, she is slim. She's my heartbeat, she's my dream. Ooh la la, dear darling.
We are in the hurricane season. Don't forget to secure your home, board up windows, reinforce garage doors, and trim trees to prevent damage from flying debris. The cost of school supplies having you in a drag? With kids home from school, groceries just don't last. Well, the Dominica National Lottery is easing that burden with our sizzling summer back to school promotion with Big 4 with Multi-X. For every $10 or more spent on Big 4 with Multi-X, you get a chance to win grocery vouchers, school supply vouchers, and cash prizes weekly, ranging from $250 to $1,000. And wait, one lucky player will win $5,000 cash. That's $50,000 in prizes, available this summer when you play Big 4 with Multi-X. Promotion runs from July 8, 2024 to August 16, 2024.
Oh, I really wish I could just get petrol, Jimmy. I'll feel safer, man, instead of waiting till I reach right in that other spot.
Your wait will soon be over. Gas to Go is coming soon. Dominica's first independent gas station. Gas to Go along the Jimmet Highway. Coming soon. Gas to Go. Go further, faster.
The New India Insurance Company has reopened its doors in Portsmouth, offering the same great services you get in Roseau. Motor vehicle insurance, home and business owners, fire and related perils, public liability, and so much more. Come, visit us today for insurance with a personal touch on Bay Street, Portsmouth, or call us at 445-4023. We are ready to serve you.
This is Asa Banton, your Tropiton Water Ambassador, with your hurricane tip for today. Assemble disaster supplies. Enough food and water for each person for at least 1 week. Stock up on all medication needed. Gas up your vehicle and hold extra cash on hand. Radios, batteries, and phone chargers are essential. Be prepared and remember to stock up on Tropiton water.
All right, from what I heard of the budget today, the presentation, it sounded like a lower energy version of the 2023 presentation in the Parliament. It didn't seem as though the minister himself was convinced of a lot of the things he was saying, and it didn't seem as though his colleagues were with him either. Normally, you hear a lot of pounding of the desk and a lot of raucous applause and so in the Parliament, because to me, as though I didn't hear that this time. There was some of it, but not a lot, and certainly not as loud as it customarily is. I don't know if they have been chastened by the resounding defeat that they just suffered in the Kalinago territory, or whether they're just fed up. They themselves are fed up of the same thing over and over and over again, just cut from last year's budget, paste into this year's budget, with absolutely no explanation at all as to what went wrong, why in critical areas of the economy, critical growth engines of the economy, like agriculture, you did not spend the amount that you budgeted last year to improve the sector. $47 million was approved, you spent 14. It's 29% of what you were given to spend on the sector, the same sector where you want to increase the contribution to GDP to $700 million by 2030. But in last year, where you were given $47 million to spend on the sector to improve a number of areas, to make things better, you only spent 14. You gave no explanation for that. 29% of implementation of projects in the Ministry of Agriculture. You give no explanation for that. You come this year again with a rehash of what you said last year. Resilience, this, food security, that, etc., etc. I mean, really? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Linton.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Not too bad. Mr. Linton, it doesn't, when the minister talks, it doesn't sound like the Dominica that I live in,
Mm.
you know? And first of all, to make it brief,
Mm.
if you are lying to me all the time, which I believe that they are, if you cannot account for billions of dollars to me, the citizen, how can I trust anything that you say in the first place? I can't trust anything you say, and I don't see the result. And he's talking into the future because 20 years they've been there, and supposedly everything is hunky-dory. How come he's now telling us that this is lacking and that is lacking, and he's now going to do this, now going to improve job, now going to take off a little VAT? How long have we been begging for VAT to come off? How long? So anyway, enough said.
All right, thank you very much, caller. I just find that there is a huge credibility issue with these with this government where budget and budget numbers and estimates and so on are concerned. What is it they approve to be done, and what they actually do, the promise they make versus the performance? It is always a very sad story, and there is never any explanation. For example, as to why the Ministry of Agriculture only spent 29% of its approved allocation on improvement projects in 2023-2024. Nor is there any explanation why the Ministry of Sports, and so much was made of sports. You heard all the talk about Alec Athanaz and Kavem Hodge and Thea Lafont and how well they're doing on the world stage and so on. Nothing to do with government or the government's support or the government's focused attention on improving sporting facilities across the country. I mean, when you take the $800,000 that was budgeted for improvement of playing fields across the country in 2023-2024, and not a cent was spent. When you take the fact that you had 21 areas of spending in that Ministry of Culture, Youth, Sports, and Community Development, 21 areas for $25.7 million. The ministry spent less than $1 million, $900,000, 4% of the allocation. And they have the gall to come now and be talking again about the wonderful things that have happened in sports and the wonderful things that are going to happen. No explanation as to why only 4% of your project money was spent in 2023-2024, and why out of 21 areas of spending, you achieved 0 in 19 of those 21 areas. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Linton. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Man, I had to call you early this afternoon because for the last few days, man, I can't get on the radio. But, my brother, you know, I always like the way you do your presentation. And I have to keep telling you that because there are some people. Let me say this. My observation, bro, is we have a common sense deficit on the island. And you had an example of it this morning. You had another example of it earlier in the week. And you are just speaking of it in this present. And when you said what you said about the enthusiasm of the finance minister, the lack of enthusiasm of the finance minister and the parliamentarians, especially the Labour government, it's lacking. Mr. Linton, they have done this for so long. You know, you tell a lie so long, you start to believe it yourself. But it comes a time when truth strikes you at your core, and you know you have been telling a lie, and the truth now is starting to beat you down because you have been proven to be a liar. Now, I want to address a few things you had earlier in the week prior to this presentation this morning. You gave a very clear picture of the country's economic situation. And a gentleman called you with a voice note. He looked like he was losing his mind because he lacked the ability to connect what you were saying and what he was saying. You understand? He's fighting you over what you saying when he's agreeing to a certain way, but his ability to connect the two of them was not there. This morning, you had another gentleman calling you a liar when you're speaking from his own government prepared papers for the projection of this year's budget. And he wants to tell you that you're lying. Mr. Linton, you know, it becomes a point when the people must understand who are they dealing with. Well, before I say that, you know the story of Cain and Abel and hate and jealousy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is where these guys are. They hate you so much, my brother. And I know you heard it before. You must always be careful of these people. Because it's not because of substance. It's not a disagreement on an issue. It's not a disagreement of a party, a different opinion or anything. It's just straight up hate because you, Lennox Linton, you just don't come out and run your mouth and say what you want. You don't make idle threats. You don't put things out there willy-nilly, uselessly. I learned from you as an investigative reporter, and let me say to you, you are one of the best in the region, and I will not take it back. Like I said before, you can be in the United States big time, and people would appreciate you where they appreciate you less in Dominica. You are hated all because of the ability to bring the truth to the people with fear, no favor. You bring it and you lay it on the line, and it's for everybody to recognize it, see it, and accept it whether they want to or not. But it's the truth, and you put it down like that. And some people, they cannot take it. You know, they say truth is an offense. So when you bring the truth, my brother, you speak to God, you speak with God, you speak to the people who are godly people. And my brother Blessing called you earlier on, and he was talking about the pastors, and I couldn't get in on that show. I just want to holler to the brother Blessing because he feel like he's kind of down a few days, you know, but he sound like he's coming back every time I hear him. So Blessing, big up to you. But I just wanted to say he was talking about the impastors that are not doing anything, not the pastors, because true pastors will stand up on the side of righteousness and will stand for their people, and they will let the government know where they are going wrong when they are wrong and where they are going right when they are wrong. My brother, my blessing goes to you.
Blessings to you,
I always
bro.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
I love what you do. I've always stand in your corner because in my heart of hearts, I know you are. Never met you, but I know who you are. Your words and your deeds speak loudly for you, my brother. I'm listening. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I hope the day comes when people will understand and the thing turn around and say, Mr. Linton was the man who saved Dominica because of all that you have given us. A lot of people knew and heard about certain things and they kept it secret. But you brought forth a lot of things that open up the people's lives. And I, for one, deeply appreciate what you do, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. It's 1:35. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hello, Lennox. Good
Hi.
afternoon.
Hi, Marlene. How are you?
Yeah, I deal with Lennox. Not too all right. Like the last caller, briefly and fast for me. I don't want to keep back your program. The last caller, my brother, I give him a 1, a 8, and 100%. What the man said there, they hate you, they hate you. It's true. They hate you, right? The man is right. Why hate a person? Everybody speaking their mind. Everybody talking. Why you want to hate the man, right? And next thing, all you hating so. But I warning you, Mr. Lennox President, Lennox Linton, my brother, do not take that olive branch. Is a warning, my brother. If the olive branch is real, let go all the cases. Let it go. If you don't hate Lennox, or you love Lennox, or you love Lennox people, People, I underline it 7 times, 007. By Lennox, so much hatred envy that country when they finish. Oh, Lennox Clinton hate the prime minister. Lennox Clinton hate this and that. My brother, you see everybody bringing out facts, right? And nobody have to come on radio and insult you. This is wrong. You speak your mind up. And my brother, the only time, the olive branch, don't never make that mistake and take that olive branch. If a person want to give you an olive branch with all their good heart, why you have them people tie up in spider web, in cobweb, in darkness? Every day is a court. Let's go them cases, right? Give Lennox people job, work, and they sing, and don't call them lazy, right? Or you not giving them job, and all you calling them lazy, right?
Yeah.
Must go over see and see if they get a work. You understand? In the country, my brother, people have hatred in that country, and you better watch your step. God with you, God protecting you, your people protecting you. And I want to tell Dominicans, my party is God, right? I don't have no party. My party is God. I speak my mind out, my own words, my own version, in my own meditation. I see so much thing happening, and it is wrong.
All right, that's Marlene in her own inimitable style. 138. Good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon. No, this one. Good afternoon. Sorry.
Wellington, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine. We appreciate you. We love you as a person. Do not take any olive branch.
Well, there's an olive branch around somewhere. I heard Marlene talking about it. All right. Sorry about that. Now, you remember a big to do today about sports and youth sports, community development. The minister and the Minister of State responsible for the ministry are sitting down in the budget presentation, and the minister herself is right behind the finance minister, so she wears a permanent smile on her face. Right? I guess when she comes to make her presentation on the budget, she will explain why is it only 4% of the allocation for culture, youth, sports, and community development was spent last year, and why, if they had as much as $25.7 million, of which they spent less than $1 million, why this year the allocation is only $11.8 million. It's less than half of what it was last year. Last year was $25.7 million. They spent less than $1 million. And this year you have cut the allocation by more than 50% for the Ministry of Culture, Youth, Sports, and Community Development. You would say that, well, there are a lot of things that they didn't get accomplished last year, so they have to make up this year. That's not making up, They're actually budgeting less to spend on the ministry this year. 140, good afternoon.
Yeah, Lennox, good afternoon. I don't know what happened. I get cut off. I don't know what happened. But I'm back. You made an observation earlier on in terms of the enthusiasm on the government side in the parliament to discuss or to listen to the presentation by the Minister of Finance. And really it was a lackluster presentation, and it's the same old that you hear every year. A little patch up there, a little patch over there. And as you rightly said, when it comes to implementation of what they have discussed, what they have approved, is really
what they have agreed to do, what they have committed to do.
That's right, yeah. It's a big issue. And that's why the country itself is under that serious situation, because these guys have no capability in terms of implementing. First of all, the budget year starts on the 1st of July and ends on the 30th of June. And these guys always come to see where we are to the 26th of July. And the debate starts on Monday, the 29th. So it tells you these guys are not taking their task government seriously to approve the financial estimates on time to keep government running efficiently. So it's a very inefficient government, and that's why they come to Parliament and they talk. But this year, you could see that they look like a wet group, that something passed in them. The same enthusiasm is not there. The other thing to do, when the president started this morning, I feel it's her maiden speech, and therefore she started well, and I was hoping for her to end well, so I could make a point or some statement that she has for her maiden speech have, exceed expectation. But halfway her speech to the end, to me, she really went in a way that didn't present herself as the head of state. She presented herself like maybe a politician visiting and addressing the parliament of another country, because she went to say the government, the prime minister, is a tap on his back and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's your government, you're the head of state, and therefore, if the government has good policy, you push the policy and you appeal to the people to support the policy to make it work, or also caution the government to continue on these policies that is improving the country and so on. Now, if you have, for example, the electoral reform issue, is a play, citizens are discussing it, and your role is to bring all sides. We hope we'd have two sides, but all sides together to achieve the right thing for the country. And that is the role of the head of state. And the thing has to come to you when it's debated and passed in Parliament. And already you're saying, as president, that you read it, and as far as you're concerned, it has your approval. What to that effect? I don't know if I capture it clearly, but what to that effect? It has your approval. It means when it comes to you, when it's passed in Parliament, whether it's good or bad, you just sign it. I mean, a good president would say that we are discussing this important matter, and you pray that it's concluded as quickly as possible in the interest of the country. That's your thing, the interest not of party, of the country as head of state. And therefore, you would caution the country to come together, the people to come together, to work on this thing, to settle in an amicable manner. But to say that you read it, all three pieces of legislation, and it's you agree with it, then you agree with it. Even if it didn't pass yet, for it to come to you, for you to assent to it, but you already agreed, and so forth. It means when it comes to you, in its present state, if it comes to you that way, it means, as far as you're concerned, it's okay. You don't care if the rest of the people who have some concern. And if it comes to you improved, you may feel disappointed. It will come to you improved because you already agree with it in present form, where we're discussing. So I took this, that it's like, for example, let's use a simple example to use. A police officer is accused of probably doing something to somebody that is not right. And then the matter is under investigation. And before the matter is concluded, the commissioner of police says he support the officer. It just put the whole thing off seriousness. And I think our country have to be serious. We have to do things serious. We have a prime minister who has shown for all these years they have not taken his job seriously and to execute it in the interest of every citizen. Then you have a Speaker of the House who, to me, as far as I'm concerned, every speaker has to be balanced and ensure that the House is well run. But that one is, it runs in his own way with his partisan head. You have an Attorney General who, in the House, take political side.
Did he change the seating arrangements in the Parliament today?
Yes, he said he changed the arrangement because he made this announcement that he read a letter that was sent in by the President's office. And invited by the city, there is no leader of the opposition. So this is why he changed the arrangement of seating in the Parliament and so forth.
But how does the change of seating arrangement that he went for, how does that change of seating arrangement affect the fact that there is no leader of the opposition in the Parliament?
That's what I'm thinking, because I believe he could remain the same way.
Isn't it that he put Tony Charles to sit down where Jesma Paul was sitting?
Yes, something like that. Something so.
So in other words, he is gunning for Tony Charles to be the leader of the opposition.
Right. So in that case, now, it's the arrangement, which to me have nothing to do with that. It doesn't make the announcement
But what is that? There's no leader of the opposition. There's no leader of the opposition. You're changing the seating arrangements for what purpose?
It I don't know if the seat itself is an opposition leader. The
Yeah,
seat may be an
yeah,
opposition
no,
leader
but
in his mind.
he's putting Tony Charles in the seat normally occupied by the leader of the opposition. In other words,
Yes.
he has selected his own opposition leader, notwithstanding the fact that the president says nobody is qualified.
And then she wrote to him, He didn't hear that
Yeah.
from they say, She wrote to him. So that's why I tell you our country is in chaos with the people we have in key position. Doesn't mean they work properly, continue to create enmity and continue to create that division in the country doesn't help and so forth. And I think, the president, to be honest with you, it's a lady I respect. I think when she became president, I applauded that. In spite of what was not done in the right way, but I still felt an opportunity for her as a candidate and as a woman to be there. But I think you have you should not see this office as a favor. It must be an opportunity as a citizen that you have rise to, and then you must embrace the occasion to do the right thing. That's what I think should happen. And if we're discussing electoral reform, and people have come to you and discussed this and make recommendations before you. Even another thing I find, Lennox, quickly there, she is supposed to, the president, I don't know if she's the president, whoever is the president, supposed to be, under our laws, the head of the Electoral Commission. And the law says they should take nothing from any other power. The Prime Minister came and said that they asked him for more time to discuss what he sent them up to July. And she comes and repeat the very same the Prime Minister said. So she said, she agreed with the Prime Minister. I mean, if he doesn't want to make the Prime Minister feel that he overstepped his responsibility, just keep it quiet.
No, but let me ask you this. Is there any doubt in your mind that she's functioning as Roosevelt Skerritt's president, not the president of the people of Dominica?
Well, when we met and I, to be honest with you, I started myself, let me see where she's going. And I felt she was going okay until I heard where she went. I just felt now she has thrown aside the opportunity to become the president of the people, which she herself have said she will be when she got inaugurated as president of the country. She has thrown it apart by two major showing the country and the world that's operating as Roosevelt Skerritt's president, because I just find let the matter being discussed and call for amicable resolution in the matter. But you already done say as president that the thing haven't yet been debated. And at the same time, when you agree with it, you're telling the members in parliament now that when they come to debate, they must debate it and they must ensure that nobody's right is being taken away, and we must not make voting more difficult. What is more difficult? What we're doing is to ensure the law is obeyed and the law are enforced. And
The Constitution, our supreme law is obeyed,
Yeah, and that's your role as president, to ensure the law is obeyed. It's not about Skerritt or about DWP, freedom or labor. It's about the state. And history will record you of doing a job that shows that you stood for the state.
Yeah.
And so forth. But I agree with what you said about the budget presentation to the minister. So if I was Minister of Health, I would not even come to the rest of the debate, because the Minister of Finance gave everything the Minister of Health should say. You could say some improvements have been made in the health service. You defend that. Lawsuits will come into Parliament, and this is what you as Minister of Finance and your office have allocated for that changes and so on. And the Minister of Health will give details, but he gave the whole detail. In other words, he spent a whole time there like he had nothing else to say, so he just had up his presentation with all kind of unnecessaries. Thank you, Lennox.
Thank you very much. All right. Well, just look at health. The caller was just referring to the Ministry of Health there, and all the things that was said about the Ministry of Health. We couldn't. When you listen to that, you get the impression somebody's trying to get you to believe that we have a first-class health service in Dominica, second to none anywhere in the world. It is not true. It is a lie. We're struggling. Right? Last year, in the Ministry of Health, they budgeted an amount of $11.7 million for improvement projects. They spent only $4.2 million. You know what they're doing this year? Rather than increase the amount so that they could do some of the things that they did not do this year, when they spent 36% of the budget last year, they're actually reducing the amount for the Ministry of Health to $7.5 million. So they've taken $4.2 million year on year off the allocation for health care, but they tell you how wonderfully well things are going, and they only achieved an implementation rate of 36% on the improvement project in health last year. I mean, these are their numbers, nobody's manufacturing that, These are their numbers presented to the parliament. And let's look again at public works. Because I heard a lot of things being said about all the road and the feeder roads that they're going to be working on. They forgot the number of feeder roads that money was allocated for in 2023, 2024, where they did absolutely nothing. There were 37 areas of spending under the public sector investment program for the Ministry of Public Works. 37 areas, 37 line items. They came back with zero spending on 30 out of the 37 for less than 50% of the total allocation, the amount of money approved for public works. But they come this year making a big grand boast about all the things that they're going to do and not do with feeder roads and so on. How do you believe that? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Lincoln.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you, sir, for bringing out this message to the Dominicans. This guy who called you this morning and said you're a liar. Mr. Lincoln, please do Dominicans a favor. Let them know that you are not lying. Get a transcript, a computer printout of that budget and give it to him or all Dominicans that are paying taxes. I think they should have a transcript of that budget so they will not, criticize you or condemn you and say you're lying if they could read it all. Because what you're saying is not from your heart. It's what they put out, the other party put out. Yeah. You are reading to us, Dominicans. So do us a favor, please. Send a transcript of that budget, so at least they will not condemn you and say you're a liar.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. At 1:53, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Linton.
What's up, bro?
So, Mr. Linton, you're telling us that they're going to spend less on health. Listen to this. Everything has gone up, Mr. Linton, globally. We know the global supply chains are having problems and prices have gone up. So how is it can go down and they can still spend less in the Ministry of Health? I don't get that. And another thing I want to mention is, since Erica, there are parts of the road to the airport that have collapsed, and these places are just not being fixed. Since Erica, not Maria, Erica.
Well, let's take the case in point. Let's take the case in point in Bells. $5 million budgeted. $5 million budgeted for the Bells Road, the Bells road failure, right? $5 million. It was budgeted. $5 million. Not a cent spent. Not 1 cent spent.
And not only that, Mr. Linton, the barrels in one area have fallen in, and there's not even a yellow line, vinyl line, to indicate that there's a danger there. There are no barrels there. Who is the minister responsible for public works? At least put something there to indicate. A visitor is going to fall there, Mr. Linton. Mark my words.
Yep.
A farmer already fell in there. And a visitor will fall. They're waiting for somebody to die before they fix it? Enough said.
Enough said at 1:55. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I heard the Minister of Culture said that you said they spent $4 million and they have 20-something million.
No. In the Ministry of Culture, Youth, Sports and Community Development, they had a budget of $25.7 million. They spent 920-something thousand, less than $1 million of it, or 4%, just about 4% of the budget.
And during interviews, we hear the PM said that they don't have money to fix the Arawak.
Well, they were. Sorry. Let me explain something to you. You see that business about no money? In terms of let me tell you what the story is for the Arawak House of Culture.
I'll be listening.
Yeah, okay, fine, thank you. For the benefit of this for the benefit of this caller, you have the Ministry of Culture, Youth, Sports, and Community Development. And there was amount of $385,926 budgeted for the rehabilitation of the Arawak House of Culture Phase 2. $385,986. It was budgeted, it was approved. Nothing was spent. You had an amount of $150,000 for the construction of the Old Mill Cultural Center stage. That $150,000 remained unspent. Right? So the question that reasonable minds would want to ask is, seeing that you did not achieve anything in 19 of the 21 areas that you committed to make improvements with public sector investment projects, 19 out of 21, you didn't do anything in 19. You had a budget last year of $25.7 million. You spent only $929,412. You spent 4% of the budget, right? So you come now this year to allocate money for the same Ministry of Youth, Sports, and Community Development, and you're approving less than half of what you did last year, even though you only did 4% of the allocation. That cannot be serious. And in fact, the amount of money on the public sector investment program has increased from the budget of $700 million last year to $934 million this year. It's an additional $234 million on the public sector investment program. And yet, for critical areas like health, you're actually reducing the allocation from last year when they did nothing with what was budgeted and approved. How make that make sense? Make that make sense. And something else I heard today, this harp on people not paying taxes. And no minister of government will get any argument from me on people taking up their responsibility to pay their taxes. That's not what the issue is. The issue is with the hardship that people face in Dominica and the struggle to survive, which continues to get harder and harder and harder. And it has to be a problem for ordinary, honest people in Dominica. Ordinary, honest people in Dominica who are seeing their monies from the Citizenship by Investment Program stolen, misappropriated, diverted from the consolidated fund, billions and billions of dollars of it. And you're coming to those same poor people to squeeze every ounce of blood you can get from them in taxes. Huh? You're going and you're garnishing the accounts in the bank and so on. You know, in a previous life, when I worked in the private sector, there was a certain individual who worked in the tax department that hounded me every year that God made, because it had to be an assessment of the amount of money I was paying, because I was never paying enough tax for that particular individual. So it was an assessment after assessment after assessment every year. And she left a debt that grew to $66,000 to the revenue, totally manufactured, totally concocted. And they took it. They took the $66,000 from me while they were giving everybody else handouts, and they were assisting everybody during Hurricane, after the passage of Hurricane Maria. They were helping everybody with materials and so on. At that point, they were taking $66,000 away from the money I had to take care of myself and to put my life back together. I didn't get a cent from them, but it took $66,000 from me. That same woman who was instrumental in concocting the debt is now the financial secretary of Dominica. Do you think she would be concerned about the correct amount of money coming into the treasury for the people of Dominica from the sale of their citizenships? How come is it that under her watch, the same person who hounded people for taxes and paying the right amount of tax, why is she not hounding those who are responsible, the agents and so on, for ensuring that the right amount of money comes into Dominica from the sale of its citizenships? We have been noticing a trend last couple of years. Let me get my numbers here. I'll give you an idea of what we're talking about. Let me tell you this. Listen to this carefully. Listen to this carefully. I'm going to run through for you the last 8 years, the amount of money that has not come into the treasury. The amount of money that has not come into the treasury. 2016, 2017, $186,876,120. 2017, 2018, $155,018,073. 2018, 2019, $1.6 billion stayed outside of Dominica. They only brought in $224,333,000. Remember, that was the year when we went into Parliament and told them that there was something wrong, and they had undercalled the revenues by at least $1.2 billion. That year, actually, when you look back at the numbers, $1.6 billion stayed outside of the consolidated fund. Okay. In 2019, 2020, $738,669,546 remained outside of the consolidated fund. In 2020, 2021, $969,705,986 remained outside of our consolidated fund. In 2021, $2,756,370 remained outside of our consolidated fund. In 2022, 2023, $1,780,372,584 stayed outside of our consolidated fund. And in the year just ended, 2023, 2024, which ended on the 30th of June, 2024, $1,689,655,628 stayed outside of the consolidated fund. Round it up to $1.7 billion. A total of $8,109,440,660 that we don't know anything about, that we keep asking questions about, and we keep indicating that this money must come into the Treasury of Dominica and be spent from the Treasury of Dominica as the Constitution requires, as international aid agencies and multilateral aid agencies and so on have suggested to us, the EU and so on, said all of Dominica's money from the sale of citizenship must come into Dominica and must be spent from Dominica. That was a recommendation put on the table in the middle of last year. And we were all concerned, and some of us getting hot and bothered because we were going to lose the CBI program and all of that. And I've always said, we're not going to lose the CBI program because people are raising legitimate accountability concerns over how the program is run. We're not going to lose it because of that. People the world over understand those things. We're going to lose it because of the corrupt way in which it is being handled. And you know, there is absolutely no evidence that anything that has happened with citizenship by investment, withdrawal of visa-free access to Britain or whatever else, concerns of the United States and other institutions, there is no evidence that any of that has affected the sales of Dominican citizenship. As a matter of fact, we're making more money now because, in fact, in this coming financial year, we have forecast to raise over $700 million. We did $600 million in the last financial year. We are forecasting $760 million. Right? So they're forecasting that. We know it's going to be significantly more than that because of the amount they take for themselves and the amount they allow. The amount they're forecasting to bring into the Treasury is $760 million. We know it's going to be significantly more than that because it would have to be somewhere in the region of over $2 billion for them to bring in that much into the Treasury. And I'm saying this cannot be allowed to continue. It cannot. I mean, think about it. You have a minister of finance, a whole minister of finance, cursing people in a budget about taxes, maybe a few $1,000 here and there. And we have billions of dollars that the finance minister is refusing to account for because it is under the private control in overseas accounts of Roosevelt Skerritt and his friends, under the control of Roosevelt Skerritt and his friends. Good afternoon.
When you leave, we have an
What is wrong with this guy? Mills, leave us alone, please. We're having a sensible conversation here. You have a program on Kyrie. You can do what you want on Kyrie. You can call all sorts of names on Kyrie. Go there and do that. That's your stock in trade. That is where you're strong. Don't disturb our program here, please. Weren't you on this morning? Didn't you have a chance to explain all these numbers? Do you have access to the estimates? Can you tell the people of Dominica where the money is allocated and what happened last year against the allocations that were made and approved last year? Can't you do that? Why do you want to participate in discussion and try to derail it? Do your job. Good afternoon.
What is wrong with that 3 times? Honorable Leonard Clinton, the right honorable, that is why they don't want you there. You are their medvey. You describing everything to us for us to understand in simple language. Preach it, my brother, and you see nothing not going to happen to you. There's a reason why you are there, and you will stay there in the name of God. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't understand what is the problem with these Labour Party operatives. You have any number of media outlets available to you. You have DBS Radio, you have Kyrie FM, you have Vibes, you have GIS, you have everything is available to you, right? You do nothing with proper education of people on the facts. When did any one of you do any analysis of the budget in terms of the promises made last year and the performance of the actual government against the promises that they made, especially on the public sector investment program, where things are supposed to be improved for the people of Dominica? When last you have done an assessment of that nature? You've never done it. But you want to come and confuse the issue right now, talking absolute foolishness. Stop it. Good afternoon.
Lennox, he trying to block I will talk now, because right now he irritating me. When you talking, he trying, I know everything. He trying to block the program so the other callers want to call and they sing. He must behave himself and they sing, and the Prime Minister must talk to Mills. I call in his name. Mills, you can sue me, jail me, but behave yourself. I'm not insulting you, my brother. A big man like you, a man that used to be all in khaki, serious, and now look at you forming the royal fool, my boy. Behave yourself. Lennox, have a nice weekend, you and your entire family.
You too, man.
God bless
God
you
bless
and
you.
protect you.
God bless you. Good afternoon.
Yeah, Mr.
Mr. Mills,
I want the public, I want the public to be reminded that the figures that you are giving us is coming from the government. You are not manufacturing them.
These are the government's numbers. They're before those estimates are before the parliament for approval right now.
So what is the problem with Mills?
It's amazing, Let's take some more phone calls. The afternoon time has moved on to 2:10. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, my honorable.
How are you doing?
Well, I'm good.
Okay.
Listening to good program.
Thank
Truth
you.
to power. Mr. Linton, let me tell you, the sons of the father of lies, when they hear the truth, it will always trouble their heart. Heart attack they have to get. Continue talking truth to power for those of us that is listening to the truth. Amen.
Amen. And amen.
Madam Boboy Madi, Laukali, Idi go to Bryson Company. Yele Rice and Company, the only company I know with Bryce was cooking motor and back and neck. Now with the last valley short. I said Bryce, Idi, oh, c'est place nefla, will you have a roofing material and seamless guttering? Yes, 24 gauge gardeners, all colors. Ever open Nipu gas peel agent, they program the computer to give you the exact size you want. And the seamless guttering aluminum that can better withstand the elements you have in an easy way. So no leaking after a while. And so much more. Bryson Company, the by 8 bank close to the old mill at Enfield. Telephone is 617-2468.
And there's the quality. When I'm out and it's my time to play. It's actually not the crew making a difference for you. I hear you get rocked anytime you drink it. Dance. The XM Supreme 15 years. The XM Royal 10 years. XM 5 years and the 750 milliliter bartender. Come on, pass me a Banks Extra Match your premium blend. Try out the 200 or the 750 ml. Yeah, man, guaranteed for any occasion. Say you can't go wrong with Banks Rum. Hey, drink and taste the quality. Banks, yeah, more than Chanel. Banks Supreme High Wine, the pot and the white wine, and for the fruitcake, Greta tell me, Banks Cherry Brandy. I give it back, drink and taste the quality. When I'm out and it's my time to play, it's actually not the crew making a difference for you. I hear you get runs anytime you drink it. Remember, drink responsibly.
We are in the hurricane season. Don't forget to secure your home, board up windows, reinforce garage doors, and trim trees to prevent damage from flying debris.
How much Dominican history do you know? Want to learn some fun facts? We have a great and fun way to test your knowledge and learn more about our history. Get your copy of Dominic Anu, Dominica in Puzzle. Fun for the whole family. Available now on Amazon.com. Visit pushpast10.com to learn more. Email us at dominicainpuzzle@gmail.com or call 877-698-9894.
The overseas line at 214. Good afternoon.
Dominica's favorite son, the Right Honorable Lennox Linton. Good afternoon to you, sir.
What's up, bro? Everything good?
Hey, man, I'm listening to you here, and it's painstaking, man. It's painstaking. And you know what, Mr. Linton? And Dominicans are not outraged. Dominicans are not mad. Dominicans are not vexed. Dominicans are not making noise. My goodness. You know, bro, I mean, like Lucille said a while ago, I mean, you are there for a reason. You're Dominica's savior. But the rest of us have to be mad. We have to be angry. All of this money being left overseas and Dominicans are out there begging, you know, and all our money are out there. It is crazy, man. It is crazy. But you know what, the Honorable? I mean, I don't know what to say. I really do not know what to say. But just keep on doing your job, my bro. And I mean, I'm lost for words. I'm lost for words. So, Honorable Linton, is there ever going to be a time when these people will be held to account? Is there, I mean, in your opinion, in your estimation, is there going to be a time when these people, all the ill-gotten gains they have amassed, will be taking all of this and bring it back to Dominica, or whether they already have it in Dominica? We're going to put it.
Is there going to come a time when the people of Dominica say, you have stolen enough from us and you're going to steal no more? Okay, that's it.
My
no more.
Goodness, my goodness, my bro. All the best.
All
You
right.
take care.
You too.
And
God
you remain Dominica's favorite son, the Right, the Honorable Lennox Linton.
Thank you very much. It's let's take this out. It's 2:16. That's the afternoon time. And we're just reflecting on the presentation of the 2024-2025 budget, which was presented in the nation's parliament today, and doing so against the background of what is it that this group of ministers in government really did or accomplished last year for Dominica. With all the tall tales that they're telling and the promises that they're making, and this is going to be hunky-dory, and this is going to be great, and resilience, and wow. But like I said, I found it was sort of low energy, very lackluster kind of presentation of somebody who probably didn't believe sufficiently in what he was saying, or felt that there were too many cuts and pastes from last year's budget where much was promised and nothing was done, that he just went through the motions of reading it. And I don't get this focus on the poor man in Dominica struggling to make ends meet, and this harp on taxes and not paying enough taxes, when the people who are selling our citizenship are not paying our money into the treasury. They're not concerned about that. They're concerned about poor people struggling to make ends meet in Dominica. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Honorable Linton.
Good afternoon, sir.
Let me tell you, do you know less than a quarter people in Dominica listening to Q95? People don't listen to Q95. And this is the only station that can bring a little sense of purpose in Dominica. When I am in Dominica, I'm laughing, asking, nobody don't listen to radio, to Q95. So very, very few of them. So they don't get any, they don't get any message. They just like mumu in Dominica. All right, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, and 616-4257. We have the overseas line is 305-432-9624. So from what we're hearing, it looks as though the budget debate is going to begin on Monday. The statement was made today. That's what they call, the fancy name is the Statement of Fiscal Strategy. What is the strategy that the government is going to pursue for the growth of the economy and for things to get better in Dominica in the year coming? This year is the financial year 2024-2025. It started on the 1st of July. It will end on the 30th of June 2025. And we've touched on health, we've touched on agriculture, we've touched on the Ministry of Sports and Youth, Culture and Community Development. And you'd have seen for yourself from the government's own numbers how dismal the performance was in these areas. And everybody, the minister has a big smile on her face. Her Minister of State is smiling. Everybody seems to be in good spirits because everybody picks up the check every month, It doesn't matter that they're doing not a damn thing for the country. They pick up the check and they go home and they feel no way about this simple principle from our big biblical schooling: fair day's work for fair day's pay. That means nothing to them. I mean, everywhere else in the world, if at those levels of implementation of projects within your ministry that you have committed to, that money has been approved for, some question will be asked about your ability to continue to work for people, because you clearly don't have it. On that performance, you clearly don't have it. But, anything goes. It just keeps going on and on and on and on and on and on and on. 2:22 is the afternoon time. Someone is presenting a youth response to the depressing 2024-2025 budget presentation. A youth response to the depressing 2024-2025 budget presentation. I'll share it with you. As youths in Dominica, we have again listened to another youth dream-killing virus that will continue to cause our youths and professionals to run to small nearby islands in droves to realize their dreams and to help develop other countries. Our agriculture sector is in shambles, tourism is underperforming, our health delivery services are below the 1960s era. Our infrastructure is in a terrible state. Garbage collection is at epidemic levels. The capital city of Roseau is falling apart with poor sidewalks and stinking drains, roads filled with potholes, dilapidated, tired color-looking houses, and the list goes on. Our youths in Roseau have been without a sporting facility to practice and play for 25 years, just stifling the potential of so many youths. There was nothing exciting and inspiring about this cut and paste budget, and Dominicans must now tighten their waists because unless this government is taken out of office, things are going to be much harder for our unemployed youth, single mothers, unemployed fathers and mothers, the physically challenged and aged people of our nation, while those government ministers are all living their best life ever. May God help us all to survive in this government-infected, toxic environment. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. How are you doing?
I did not want to call, but I was going to the room just and then something came to my mind. As the man called and he told me nobody listening to what happened in the radio, and he said maybe a quarter of the people there. But it made me remind me that Noah preached for 120 years, and nobody didn't want to hear. But he kept on preaching, he never stopped. Until when the flood came, that's when they realized the truth of it. And it was too late. Yes, son?
Yeah.
The time you give it, the Bible said, do not be weary in well-doing. In good time, you will reap, you faint not. So there are times you have to do what you have to do. Even though they listen. But when things come, the wolf will come upon them. That's when they realize what's happening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. $2.26. Good afternoon. This is Talk on the Block. How you doing?
Love life. Love life. If you already love life, healing, joy, blessings. I mix it. What's up, King? Blessings.
We're good. We're good. How are you doing?
I give him thanks. I give him thanks. If anything, I could always update you. But I could. Blessings. How is family?
Family is doing good. Thanks. Thank God.
Yeah, a medical doctor was telling me years ago, I tell him the amount of bitterness and hatred some people have towards me. He tell me, nah, man, that's jealousy. He tell me, I know your background, I know who you are, and that can only be jealousy, where the hatred is coming from. I think the same applies to you. Because the perceived expectations of engagement and the power of perception applies in your case. Can you imagine through the years people have saying Leonard Stinton is so stupid and Leonard Stinton did not go to school. So when educated people with degrees listen to you, it's like a heart attack. It's like something inside them is being affected. So most of the time I just feel sorry to see, it's out of petty jealousy, envy, and wickedness as well, and the ignorance not to talk about it. But you taught me something years ago. A supplementary estimate. I think you have stated. Yeah. I called you and I asked you to explain that to me. Mm-hmm. So you were talking about the amount of the budget, and they never spent all the money. Mm-hmm. And the problem is they're coming back with supplementary estimates. So if they never use all the money they budget for, why are they coming back with supplementary estimate? Could it be that's the way they are just stealing more than they have stolen? Mr. Lincoln, can you explain that to me?
Yeah, well, the supplementary estimate process is engaged where you do not have approval for what you would like to spend. Okay, so you approve a budget, but the budget doesn't have money for something which comes up, which you think, or it doesn't have enough money. So you have to, a supplementary appropriation is what is going to give you the parliamentary approval after the fact of the spending. So
no, but what I'm saying, if what your budget, the monies you budgeted for, you never spend all of it on whatever you budgeted for. Why would you come back with some supplementary estimate?
Well, I'm not sure.
Just my own limitation,
it would be interesting to see whether in the case of those ministries that did way below their allocation, whether they did in fact come back to for supplementary appropriations. I would think that would be highly unusual. You're not spending what was given to you, but you want supplementary appropriations for what?
And I'm glad the nexus you made, or the connection you made, having to do with how all our young people, the dream killers, within the budget and everywhere, people have to run, developing other islands, seeking for the dreams and all of that, and not in their own country where they can at least acquire the dreams. So I just listened there and learned a little more. Yeah. And I just want to give thanks to you because you have done a heaven of a lot. I was about to say hell, but a heaven of a lot. Until Kakayot, leave me alone. Kakayot. They call him Kakayot. I'll tell you who he is.
All right.
Blessings.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Honorable.
How are you doing? How are you doing? Good.
I'm good. Boy, I see you on Mark, but I don't know. I mean, you should understand. The man tried to speak last year and they shut the man up there. So, you know what I'm saying?
Who is this? Who is this?
McIntyre.
Oh yeah.
No,
you was talking about you were talking about something else above his pay grade.
Yeah, they can't speak. Plus, I think one of the things that we haven't made noise about over the years is the frequency of parliament. I mean, that's why money not getting spent there. You cannot have a parliament that doesn't need to discuss issues of the people and expect, things to be spent and money. The way the thing running, it's just not running like a parliament. You know what I mean? Parliament doesn't function like that,
Yeah.
So that's essentially what it is. Nobody can spend without scary to approve money to spend. Nobody.
Yeah, but then what is the purpose? What the purpose of the budget exercise, where the monies are approved ministry by ministry?
Yeah, it's a joke, man. It's a joke thing, man. You just cannot have a parliament that is meeting once a year, bro, and for it to be functional as a government, it cannot work. Dominica is the only place in the world that the parliament meets this infrequently. Only place in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really a shame, you know. It's really a shame.
Yeah, I mean that's a travesty, and the people have not, even seen that fit to make I mean that's abhorrent, in governance.
Yep.
But I wanted to come to the opposition leader and kind of fence you a little bit, nothing negative way. But because I feel like, we give Kerry the upper hand in that opposition thing. And I think he can do that, though, because I remember Nia did that in Barbados. I think that happened in Grenada. I think under the Commonwealth Constitution, the Prime Minister can make decisions in those issues to put somebody there. I mean, I hate the fact that it happens, but I think he has the Constitution.
No, he does. No, he does not. He does not. Where the President says the appointment of a leader of the opposition is the remit of the President, and not the Prime Minister.
I remember when nobody won in Barbados.
Somebody crossed the floor from Mia's side.
She allowed
somebody crossed the floor from Mia's side to become opposition leader, right?
Yeah.
But interestingly, in our system, you cannot cross the floor from Labour to the opposition. You can do that if you want, but you cannot become opposition leader.
You cannot become opposition leader.
No.
But who crossed the floor?
Nobody.
Yeah, so then he can, no? But my point is, though, I'm mad about is, I mean, then we had two UWP people, bro. Two UWP constituencies. How old man couldn't work that out internally and have that? Why that have to come to that, man?
Yeah, because people give the United Workers' Party a lot more than it bargained for in terms of people's rights to make up their mind about what they want to do, right? And in fact, neither of these individuals are United Workers' Party United Workers' Party candidates. They contested as independents, and they won in constituencies where the people did not want Roosevelt Skerrit, whether it was sham election or no election. They did not want Roosevelt Skerrit's representative or Roosevelt Skerrit's chosen candidate to represent them. And so in Marigot, they voted for Anthony Charles. In Salisbury, they voted for Jesma Paul. But largely.
But that was still, but indirectly, that was still a UWP, portfolio. You know what I mean? We don't need to get in nitty-gritty, but like how how man couldn't pull together. Even if Tony go where he going, Tony can go where he want to go, but the people of Marigot is who will vote Tony, or not vote Tony, So it really doesn't matter where he goes.
Well,
it doesn't matter because the people of Marigot is you don't really feel they're going to vote. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's why some people have asked him clearly, don't think the honorable course of action available to you in the circumstances is to resign. Let the people decide who they want to represent them at this point. No.
Yeah, but in terms of the parliament, I don't see how you couldn't put together Tony and Jesma, whether Tony go on this side or whatever. Like, how you man couldn't talk that out, brethren? Why don't have to reach where the president have to be deciding
there's a lot
carry
more,
them kind of
there's a lot more in the mortar than just the pestle, said Lloyd. A lot more. Right?
Well, love, brethren.
Take care of yourself.
No, and I just want to tell the people we'll be on CCM this afternoon, Dr. George and myself. We're going to keep the conversation. So join us up.
6 o'clock.
Yeah, from like 6:30. Yeah, somewhere about that time there.
Good.
All right, bless. One love, brother.
One love. The West Indies kind of struggled today. 200 and something. Let me check the final score there. See what happened. West Indies. Final score. West Indies. Yeah, West Indies. 282 all out. England 38 for 3. Oh wow. Okay. England 38 for 3. So what we doing? We're heading for another first innings lead? That's interesting. We're heading for another first innings lead. I spoke to Mr. Louis this morning. Mr. Louis, good afternoon to you, sir. We were talking about his grandson, Mikhail Louis, who is the opening batsman for the West Indies Test team. currently on tour of England. He has played the 3 matches of the series so far. He has batted 4 times, and 5 times. Sorry, 5 times. And 4 of those 5 times he has batted, he's gotten out, nicking the ball into the slip cordon 4 out of 5 times. So there seem to be some technical issues there to be sorted out. He looks like a pretty organized, committed young cricketer, so I'm sure he will sort them out. But for us who are watching, it's just frustrating watching a young man get into the 20s doing hard work and then not being able to go beyond the 20s, just getting out, nicking the ball to into the slip cordon. Every time it's 4 to 5 times. So, but this is an interestingly poised game now. 8 overs. The West Indies put up 282 on the board behind some runs from the lower middle order. That is, let me see what the scorecard is telling us here. Yeah, you had runs from, no, hold on. We want to see the scorecard. Where is the scorecard? Okay. No, I'm not getting the scorecard, but it looks as though well, for England, Joe Root is at the crease, he's 2 not out, and Ollie Pope is batting, he's 6 not out. I was trying to get the scores of the West Indian batsmen. I know Holder got 59 and De Silva got some runs as well. But our Dominican and 61 from the skipper, Brathwaite. But our Dominican brothers who gave us a lot of runs in the first innings of the second test match have fallen away since. They've fallen away in the second test match, 1-0. Today, 2-13. So, we need to step that up, guys. We need some more production from our Dominicans on the West Indies team. Very important. Good afternoon. It's 2:39. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Mr. Linton.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
I just heard the Minister of Finance declare to the world that, and to all of Dominica, that he's going to strengthen the laws in protection of tenants. Apparently, he's declaring a little war, a mini war on landlords.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm deducing correctly.
Yeah.
Because we do have some naughty tenants. And I don't know if he wants to protect those naughty tenants who don't like to pay their rent. Because he says he's going to strengthen the laws and protect the tenants as if, well, the landlords.
It would be nice for the government to pay some attention to the ability of the tenants to pay, because I'm one of those who thinks it's probably not just simply people don't like to pay; it's that they're struggling. In this hard guava season,
But the landlord has his loans, he has his expenses. Are you going to allow a tenant to remain in there who has hit hard times? We accept that.
Right.
But because you have hit hard times, I need to rent my place. You cannot remain in my apartment 3, 4, 5 months not paying.
But things. Listen to me, Peter Karam. The things that this government is supposed to do to allow people who are struggling to have a better life in Dominica, they're not doing. The money from the sale of Dominican passports should come into Dominica and create opportunities for people who are struggling. That's what we need to do with it. Instead, we have it outside there under other people's control, and we're coming to crucify Dominicans struggling for taxes. We're coming to crucify landlords who are having difficulty receiving rent payments and so on. It's all priorities that are wrong side, right? the big hot ticket item for us right now, get our CBI money from where it is overseas and bring it into the Treasury of Dominica. That solves our problems.
And he also gave us a warning, the private sector and all those who are owing taxes. You better pay up. We're coming. We're going to strengthen our tax collection this season.
Yeah.
Because we need the taxes to put medication in the hospital. So you are now disclosing to us that is why there's no medicine in the hospital, because we have some naughty taxpayers who just are not meeting their obligations.
Exactly. And with no consideration for the billions of dollars from the sale of our passports that are outside under other people's control. As far as they're concerned, that's fine. That's good. But they will hound and crucify poor struggling Dominicans for $1,000, $500 in tax. They will hound and crucify them for the landlords who having problem receiving payments from tenants and so on and so on. All misplaced priorities.
But those business places, I will accept and I will cede to him, and I'm sure you will be with me on that. You've collected the VAT on behalf of the state. Papa Mordier, just go and pay the people the VAT. It's not yours. You collected it on behalf of the state. Why would you withhold the state's VAT? It's not yours. You just collected it.
No, well, I was referring more to people who have been taken down for income tax payments where assessments are made, some of them bogus, in the scheme of things. I wasn't even referring so much to the deduction of VAT because, as you said, you deduct the VAT, pay the VAT.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. But finally, I would have loved if he had said to the landlord and the tenant, both of us, that he's going to protect both of us, increase the protection for both of us.
Right.
You cannot make the balance swing more in favor of the tenant and put the landlord at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
And put a strain and a stress on the landlords who built their apartments, invested in housing, and they owe in the banks. They have expenses.
Who paid significant taxes into the revenues from those investments?
God bless my brother. Bless you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's we need to be fair. We need to be fair and just. And this populism where you basically looking for what will make you popular to do as opposed to doing what is right. It's not sustainable. Good afternoon.
I just want to say quickly, Mr. Linton, to add to that point Peter made, is that an investment these days in housing with the increase in storms can be very risky. You could lose that house or get it severely damaged. That's a point I wanted to add to that discussion. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. It's 2:45. The telephone rings. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
You see what the landlords and them have to do? Put the tenants on them outside. Let government give them house for them to stay. If you don't have rights in your own house where you invest, put the tenants on them outside and let government build house for them.
Interesting. Busy phone line at 246. Good afternoon.
Good has come to a very interesting position. So now that the government is in the business of making houses and giving it to people, even those who are questionably can afford housing, are they interfering now with those who have businesses for rent? Have they crossed that line? Or will they cross that line? And what legislation will there be to protect those who are in that business?
Yeah.
Because we have seen that a lot of these housing, so-called, the kind of cars you're seeing out there, in my mind, I'm saying to myself, are those people who cannot afford apartments? I ask myself that question. Thank you.
Interesting. Yep. Good afternoon. It's 2:47. How are you doing?
Yes, Mr. Linton. Mr. Linton, just to show you how the man just one-sided. You're already thinking of the tenants. You don't think to level thing between both sides, the landlord and tenants, the country and the tenants. You see how one-sided they be? But don't worry, I'll take care of them, man. They'll be taken.
Indeed.
Join us every Monday for our new radio show entitled Peaceology State.
The vision of Peaceology State is to increase involvements and help improve conditions of peace on individual, family, group, community, national, regional, international, and other levels.
The show will be hosted by founder of Peaceology and the world's first peaceologist, Dr. Peter K.B. St. John.
Co-hosted by his daughter, University journalism student, Patrice K.B. St. John.
Dr. St. John defines peaceology as the science and practice of low stress and high joy.
Peaceology State seeks to increase experiences of low stress and high joy among as many people as possible. Again, join us every Monday 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Caribbean Time on Q95 Radio, the big station.
Auto Trade is introducing our very own mobile app. Yes, the Auto Trade app is here. From scheduling your service appointments, request financing, checking our vehicle and parts inventory, to receiving personalized coupons and sales specials. Life is so much easier with the new Auto Trade app. Download the Auto Trade app from the Play Store or App Store today. Call us at 255-6800. Auto Trade. It's more than a vehicle, it's a relationship.
We are in the hurricane season. When a hurricane is on the horizon, ensure you have a plan in place for you and your family. Know your evacuation route and have a designated meeting spot in case you get separated.
The devil's
I'm going to share with you one more time the perspective of a young person in Dominica on this budget that was presented this morning, a youth response to the depressing 2024-2025 budget presentation. As youth in Dominica, we have again listened to another youth dream-killing virus that will continue to cause our youth and professionals to run to small nearby islands in droves to realize their dreams and to help develop other countries. Our agricultural sector is in shambles. Tourism is underperforming. Our health delivery services are below the 1960s era. Our infrastructure is in a terrible state. Garbage collection is at epidemic levels. The capital city, Roseau, is falling apart with poor sidewalks and stinking drains. Roads filled with potholes, dilapidated, tired, color-looking houses, and the list goes on. Our youth in Roseau have been without a sporting facility to practice and play for 25 years, thus stifling the potential of so many youth. There was nothing exciting and inspiring about this cut and paste budget, and Dominicans must now tighten their waist because unless this government is taken out of office, things are going to be much harder for our unemployed youth, single mothers, unemployed fathers and mothers, the physically challenged, and aged people of our nation, while those government ministers are all living their best lives ever. May God help us all to survive in this government-infected, toxic environment. Perspective of a young person in Dominica shared on social media this afternoon. Thought it was important to share it with you. And as you reflect on the budget provisions and the budget presentation of 2024-2025, something to keep in mind is that Dominica has enough money from the sale of its passports over the last 8 years to fund every single improvement project that the government has placed on the table. Every single one. And we will have a lot of money remaining. We have $8.1 billion, 8,100 million that we cannot account for. And I want to tell you this afternoon that this $8,100 million equates to put another note, another note, and another note. Yeah. And if we take that $8 billion that is outstanding that we cannot account for, and we divide it among 70,000 people who are living in Dominica, I told you this week and I repeat, it is $115,700 for every man, woman, and child resident in Dominica. That is the kind of money that the people of Dominica have been deprived of. And that is the kind of money that will disappear permanently if the people of Dominica decide they will do nothing about it. And I keep making the point that nothing that we have said and none of the concerns that the government has expressed about people trying to criticize the CBI program has had any effect at all on citizenship sales. As a matter of fact, the evidence of the past few years that we're selling more passports than ever before. Right? And as we sell more passports than ever before, we are taking more of the people's money than ever before. And that, my friends, cannot be acceptable. It is not right, and we should do something about it. Our final phone call. Good afternoon.
You're dishonest man right now.
Oh my God, this guy is wow. He's in pain. This poor guy. He's in pain. It's not enough for him to have his own radio station, to do his own thing. He is in pain listening to the truth. The truth offends him. Mr. Mills, do something about the money that belongs to the people of Dominica, and then we can have a conversation that is in the public interest of Dominica. Before that, if you can't do that, stick with your program of hate and prejudice on Kyrie FM. You do well there. You do very well there, indeed.
The devil setting traps.
Mhm.
Will you fall for it?
That's all the time we have this afternoon. See you Monday. Love you, Dominica. God bless.
Will you fall for it? Devil setting traps for you. Don't you fall for it? Just like when the signal on your Wi-Fi drop, it just come back stronger. The more they try to kill you, it's the more you live longer. So if their plan didn't work, it's best they try another plan. Or go and try that plan on another man. Everybody like what they like, so they can go and jump in another van. Oh, jobless, no man curse. Sometimes the blessing them just look just like a curse. Oh, jobless, no man curse. They getting nice. They try to sing the ball, but they lie. Every day they think and wonder why. No matter what they try, even though they drop behind. Sure, they will never see me backslide. Decide for the theory. Come together with the evil, see they congregate. They pray hard, but their hands have a center. They thinking just secret. What? No matter what they do, I'm gonna end it. The devil setting traps. Will you fall for it? Wow! The devil setting traps for you. Don't you fall for it? The devil setting traps. Will you fall for it? The devil setting traps for you. Don't you fall for it? Respect yourself. You work so hard to build a strong foundation. Why would they think we're so easy to bring down? Maybe the journey was a slow one. Now we in this for the long run. When life teaching lessons, we just sign up. When God giving blessings, we just line up. Putting in the work till our time up. So if you know you're blessed, put your hands up. Oh, God bless, no man curse. Sometimes the blessing them just look just like a thing. Oh, God bless, no man curse. Things getting better when they thought it would be worse. We getting stronger every day. 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 The devil setting traps, will you fall for it? The devil setting traps for you, don't you fall for it? The devil setting traps, will you fall for it? The devil setting traps for you, don't you fall for it? Wow.
Forward, 2 steps backward, yeah. You're much more lover, don't use big words, yeah. I don't need commenting at all because I know what I want. Baby, can't you figure it out? What's going on in your heart? Just wanna take for you to love, take for you to love me. Gonna take for you to show, take for you to show me. I've been trying to take it slow, but my patience slow. If you try me, let me know. Gonna take for you to love, take for you to love me.
7 minutes outside of the hour of 3. Good afternoon, Dominica.
Stop put that show on social media. Stop lying for the media. Stop put that show on social media. When you outside, say everything nice. And when you inside, every day all you fight. And when all you in the family, play husband and wife. Then you get what I run, boy. Stop him with an eye.
Gonna take for you to love, take for you to love me. Gonna take for you to show, take for you to show me. I've been trying to take it slow, but my patience low. Make you try me, let me know. Gonna take for you to love, take for you to love me.
Hope you guys are having a fantastic Friday so far. Let me know what's up today, man. To all my Flow customers, good afternoon. To all my soon-to-be Flow customers, good afternoon to you too.
You in a fake relationship.
It's all about the most reliable network, of course. Sign up today.
Backward, yeah. You're much more lover, don't use big words.
This ain't a special good afternoon going up to the folks at the Flow store right now. Shout out to the Flow team. Shout out to a GM and good afternoon to you.
Baby, can't you figure it out? What's going on in your heart?
Oh, yes.
Take for you to love me.
To all my folks that's got it locked on in Stock Fam. Want to say good afternoon to you. Big up to Roberta. How you doing today? Everything good? Not me. Listen.
Stop lying for the media. Stop put that show on social media. Stop lying for the media. Stop put that show on social media. When you outside, say everything nice. And when you inside, every day all you fight. And when all you in the family, play husband and wife. Then you get what I run, boy. Stop him with an eye.
Gonna take for you to love me. Gonna take for you to show, take for you to show me. I've been trying to take it slow, but my patience low. Make you time you let me know what you gonna do for you to love, take for you to love me.
It's Friday night, I'm feeling alright. Gotta get myself a sexy girl tonight. So can't wait to rock my body all night. Girls, they wanna have fun. Oh yes.
Oh, girl, just don't wanna
We're having some fun at the Flow Network, of course. Come in and sign up today. Switch today. Pay your bill on time and in full. It's a July Madness still going on. And of course, don't forget that you can catch the Flows Road Show tomorrow from 9:30. Look out for the team. We're going to be blazing some blue.
Baby, we are both I will never leave you. It's tonight in the
Easy. Yeah, man, we got about 12 minutes outside of the hour 3 right now. All those celebrating their birthday today, want to say happy birthday to you. Cut the cake and celebrating more life and more blessings upon you. Wishing you all the best on your special day. And of course, many, many more birthdays to come.
I can't be here without you. In my feelings, boy. Wait, freeze. Someone like you. Oh. Someone like you. Someone like you. Someone like you. Someone like you.
Someone like you. Saying a special good afternoon going out to Lane up there in Tampa, Florida. How you doing today? Everything good?
So matter what you do, you could say, baby, I love you. If she wants the next match, she still go cheat on you. Because these girls ain't loving no more. You'll make a man put sadness in your door. She was the only girl that I love and adore. But she belong to the streets, I ain't care no more. Someone like you. 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 Me want to keep up, not no hard killer. Someone like could look, put a ring on a finger. Drink some tequila, take a trip to Anguilla. Someone like could spoil, someone like could call my diva. But you man so toxic. And once upon a time I was lovesick. Carrying my love in a bucket. One more day, this love me so toxic. Someone like you. someone like you, someone like you, someone. Got you with stylus. Got you with stylus. Got you with stylus. Everything for you, baby. Get after the tea down there in Colio, Mexico City. Big up yourself. Get after them. Sign up with the most reliable network today. Oh, yes. Hey, Lynn, tell Mel I said good afternoon, please. And thanks. Tongues. Pressure today. To all my Flow customers that's currently at the store, I want to say good afternoon to you as well. How are you doing? Thank you for making Flow your service provider of choice. Carnival emancipation is the thing I see, but some people never say so. Oh no. So they come and try to take the carnival from me, but the people love their CWO. I love my Flow network. Professor King Dice and each other pro. Worry people, this could be a calypso show. Like we heading straight to the finals. And we not take the rookie. Cause we rivals. Nothing can stop the Flow network. Nothing can stop the CWO. I say one more time again from the top. Nothing can stop the Flow network, boy. We booming. I see, but some people never say so. My friends at Flow can tell you that for sure. Let me big up my sales team one time. Good afternoon to you guys. How you doing? Come join the Flow family right now. Tell them nothing cannot stop the CWO. And if you back stuff onto the show, nothing cannot stop the CWO. They could be back. You want a party? Come see what we get. Come chill with King Dice, Plantain and Shelly. So good afternoon to the folks that's locked on the Carry FM and at U95. This is the Flow Hour. Let me brighten up your Friday this afternoon with some big promotions from Flow. Nothing can stop the CWO. Nothing can stop the Flow network, boy. You mad? And if you back up onto the show, nothing can stop the CWO. Shout out to the Flow. Yeah, man, that's my boy, Shadow Flow. Once you feel the beat, you don't know we feeling great. Once you hear the sound, there is no backing down now. When the rhythm hits you, you don't know we feeling great. If you want to go and find out,